Hey guys, my name is Mallory. I'm doing this assignment as part of my gender communication course. I have Jake with me, and we are about to do a gender interview and see how much he knows and what his perspectives are. So, question number 1: how do you define your gender?
I define myself as male,
Okay. How do you define your sex?
also male.
Okay. Do you think there's a difference between gender and sex?
Absolutely not.
Okay. How do you describe any other identity categories such as your race or ethnic identities, disabilities, veteran status, eating habits, religious affiliations, etc.? And do you consider these important to you?
They're very important to me. I'm a Caucasian, conservative male.
Okay. How do you express this identity?
I'm sorry?
Like, how do you express this identity?
With everything that I do.
Okay. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I don't know the masculine activities I participate in. I'm not sure what that question means.
Okay. How long have you identified as male?
Since I came out of the womb.
Okay. What is the first memory you have involving recognition that there was a gender?
I don't know. As far back as I can remember, it's preschool. I remember having girls in preschool with me, so I would assume preschool.
Okay. What was the first recognition of your gender?
Being potty trained and noticing that, I was a male.
Okay. Did you know other straight or queer people at the time when you started discovering your gender? And how have other people affected your journey of gender discovery?
I didn't comprehend homosexuality or anything like that when I was that age, but I mean there was homosexual people in my life. I had an aunt that was homosexual. She was in my life at that point, but there was no impact on my gender because of her. I wasn't old enough to comprehend that and make a decision on that.
Okay. If not through other people of variant gender identities, how did you learn about different genders?
Second grade science class, male and female.
Okay. Would you say that your gender is static? So, like, is there a change in your gender? And why do you think that is or isn't? And has your gender changed over time?
My gender's been the same since I was born. I was born a male. I will always be a male. I'm absolutely male and always will be.
What life events, if any, do you think had a major impact on your gender?
None. There was no change in my gender. I've been the same gender since I could have a cognitive perception. So there was no impact by anything.
Okay. Is your gender an important identity for you, and why?
Absolutely.
And why?
It makes me who I am. I'm male. I'm who I am because I'm a male.
Okay. Do you think sexual and romantic attraction plays a part in your gender expression or gender identity, and how is that?
Sexual attraction to females, I would assume, plays a part in me being a male.
Okay. Do you think cultural norms plays a part in your gender expression or gender identity, and how is that?
It could, but regardless of whether it was the norm or not, I would feel the same way, and I wouldn't change because it was a norm or because it wasn't a norm. It's who I
am. Tell me about how you define your religion and spirituality, or lack thereof, and does this relate to your gender identity?
I'm Roman Catholic. No, it does not relate to my gender identity.
Okay. Have you ever dealt with discrimination or harassment as a result of your gender identity? And if so, could you describe that experience for me?
Actually, yes. I've been passed up on jobs because I was a white male. I was told, I applied for a job, I was told I didn't get the job because they wanted to hire a female instead of me. So I would consider that discrimination against a male. I was not hired because they wanted a female, but we had the same qualifications.
Have you ever experienced any kind of mental health issues related to or separate from your gender identity? And did you seek treatment, and what was the problems or successes that you encountered?
I never had any mental health issues or treatment because of my gender.
What advice would you give to counselors, therapists, social workers working with trans or queer people?
I have no expert advice on that. I'm not transgender or queer, so I can't say that there's any advice that I would give to any counselors about that.
Why do you think it's important to increase knowledge and acceptance of trans identities? What systematic and personal goals do you have for trans folks and their rights?
As a human, I can't deny any person their rights, regardless of whether they think they're some gender or not. It's kind of cruel to deny somebody that. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, give them the same rights as everyone else, even though I don't agree with it.
Any final thoughts on what you would like to add about gender?
There are only two genders. There's male and female. In the past 3 or 4 years, there's been this shift in society that claims that you can choose your gender, and in my opinion, you can't. If you're born with, male genitalia, you're a male. If you're born with female genitalia, you're a female, regardless of how you feel.
Okay, so 3 extra questions. Do you think that heterosexuals will ever have to come out like gay people do? Like, do you think that it's fair that as straight people we don't have to come out, but people who are homosexual do have to come out?
No, I don't think heterosexuals will ever have to come out.
Why do you think that is?
It's the social norm. However, I don't feel like gay people should have to come out either. It's your choice. Be who you are. Even though I don't agree with it, doesn't mean that I hate you because of it. You don't have to keep it a secret from me. I treat everybody equally as long as they treat me with respect.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the government has a right to regulate who you can and cannot love or marry?
No. If you think you'd be happy with another male, or if you think you'd be happy with another female, who's the government or any other person to tell you that you can't do it? And that's your prerogative. I don't think anybody has a right to tell you who you can and can't be happy with.
Okay, and last question. If you had to ask someone in the LGBTQ community one question, what would that be and why?
At what point is a line drawn with transgender, with this transgender movement going on? I know I'm familiar with some things. For example, a 4473 form. I know that some 4473 forms throughout the United States, which is the paperwork you fill out to purchase a firearm. There are some states that have more than 20 genders on them. On the paperwork. At what point is a line drawn? At what point can I not identify as a polygender frying pan or something like that? At what point is the line drawn where, no, you can't be that? Where is the line drawn?
Okay. Well, thank you. And thank you for watching.